I'm also hearing the name Tom as well.
That's me.
Oh, that's you? Shut the hell up. Your dad is doing this for a reason. He goes, Matt, my son would never believe in this, but now that I died, I know that my son needs this. And I know that he needs to know that I'm okay and that I'm with him. So first of all, sir, know that your dad is here. Because when I'm connecting with him, he just said to me, Matt, he goes, I have to let my son know that I'm okay. I have to let my son know that I'm okay. And the moment I'm connecting with your dad, he shows me that, first of all, your dad was unstoppable here in this world when I'm connecting with him.
Yes.
He tells me that he had some issues that were going on with his body, but he says to me, Matt, I thought I had it under control. I thought I had it under control, and I need my son to know that. He goes, I may not have believed in doctors. He goes, but I listened to what they said, and I did my own thing. He shows me him going back and forth to doctors when I'm connecting with him. There were some things that they were concerned about with him. And I see your father saying, I go to the doctors, I get my appointments, but I do what I want. And I see when I'm connected with him, because I'm like, what's your routine? Your dad's telling me, I used to walk, Matt. He shows me that he used to chop things up. It looks like almost like he used to have either garlic or things like this.
He used to garden at one point.
That's got to be what it is, because when I'm connecting with him, he shows me that was his way of staying healthy. And when I'm connecting with your dad, this is the hardest thing, because he says to me that you were not prepared for him to die, and you were not prepared for him to leave this world in the way that he did. He shows me that it all happened so quickly when I'm connecting with him. And the first thing that I have to tell you is that your dad is coming through, because he says to me, Matt, he says, there were things that were wrong with me, but I want my son to know that it was not his fault. Meaning that when I'm connected with him, and he just asked me to get off the stage, he says, you better let him know that when I was here, I did everything that I could to take care of myself. And first of all, your dad tells me the moment that he started getting sicker, the moment things were going on with him, he tells me that you stopped everything to be there for him. When I'm speaking to his soul, did he have a heart attack, or what was the heart issue?
He did have a heart attack,
Okay.
yes.
Your dad shows me many heart attacks that he was having here in this world. That's what he was being checked on. He also tells me that he was on some type of a medication for this as well when I'm connecting with him.
Yes.
Meaning that he was either on a blood thinner, I don't know what it was, but he's showing it to me because he showed me pills that he used to take. And your father said to me, I knew that I had heart issues. He says, but I wasn't going to let that stop me from living life, he tells me. He tells me the hardest part is that your dad was surviving many heart attacks. And it put so much on his heart when I'm connecting with him, because when I'm speaking to his soul, he tells me that his heart was not functioning like a normal person. He says to me, normally you would use 100% of your heart. He shows me only 65% or 60% of his heart was actually working.
That's exactly right.
He tells me, well, who do you think I'm talking to? But your dad tells me this. He says, Matt, I didn't want anyone to pity me. I didn't want anyone to stop their life because of me. And he's bringing that through. Your dad actually just showed me his watch. Do you have his watch here in this world?
Oh my God, yes.
He just said to me, if you bring up the watch, my son's going to know that it's real. He says, and Matt, you let him know that when he puts that watch on, I want him to know that my soul is with him every day. Your dad tells me that every day you think about him. And he shows me him being in the car with you, where you take car rides and you'll think about your dad. And he also talks about you listening to the same music that he used to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's his way of bringing that through. But what your dad is so proud of is for the way that you stepped forward to take care of your family here in this world. Your dad says to me that when he was alive, he says, I never worried about anything. He says, because I had my son. He says, so I knew that if anything were to happen to me, he says, I knew that I could trust you. He wants you to know that you lived up to every expectation that he had of you here in this world. And your dad says to me, I wasn't the type of person that always spoke my emotions. I never got to tell my son how much he actually meant or how I felt about him. But I'm here to do that now. Because your dad says that even though he was someone who was stoic here in this world, he says to me that what he wants you to know is that he is so proud of you. And you need to know that. I'm also hearing the name Tom as well.
That's me.
Oh, that's you? Shut the hell up. Because he's also telling me in my ear, say Tom, he'll know. Your dad is doing this for a reason. He goes, Matt, my son would never believe in this or wasn't sure if this was real, so you have to overwhelm him. You're going to tell him all this shit. Because your father goes to me, Matt, if I was here in this world, I would tell my son there's no effing way you get me to speak to a medium. He says, but now that I died, I know that my son needs this. And I know that he needs to know that I'm okay and that I'm with him. So your Father says to me that he sees how hard you work. He sees how every single day you're living life thinking about him. And this is his way of letting you know on the other side, thank you for supporting the family. Thank you for stepping up in my place. And that even though you feel like you did not get to say goodbye to your father, this is his way of letting you know that he's here and always with you in the afterlife.
When he talked about the watch, I knew it was the real thing because my dad gave me that watch when I was about 10 years old. And the funny thing is I said to my dad, talk about the watch, and he did. I hope everybody believes that there is an afterlife. I've always believed that, and this just reinforces what I always thought.